Okay, so we're going to be talking about how to apply makeup on Shabbat. And this is something that actually, hi Tatiana, so good to see you. Tatiana, you heard me? Hi. Okay, so we're going to be talking about how to apply makeup on Shabbat. And it's something that actually comes up a lot. People are always talking to me about this, especially as we get older and we feel like we need to hide some pimples or wrinkles or whatever's going on. And the truth is that we're really not allowed to do certain things on Shabbat. And I'm just going to go through it very, very quickly, and then we'll go into Agnes. Agnes will teach us a little bit about how to apply the makeup so that it actually lasts. And throughout this session, she'll also give us some tips on brushes and which brushes are good for applying different things, and what kind of makeup is good for Shabbat as well. So there's two laws for Shabbat that apply to makeup. One of them is called mimareach, which means that you can't smear. You're not allowed to smear. Like, you're not supposed to put on cream. You're not allowed to smear things on your face. And a lot of makeup and creams come in cream. A lot of makeup comes in cream. And you're not allowed to smear and put some, cream on your face on Shabbat, or anywhere on your body on Shabbat. Like, if you have a cut, if it's really, really bad and you need to put on some cream, you can take some cream and sort of dab it on. You're not supposed to smear it on, because you're not supposed to be smearing. That's one law. The next law is that you can't, it's called soveya, which means that you can't color, you can't dye. You can't dye material, you can't dye things. And our face is actually like a blank canvas, and a beautiful blank canvas. And smearing and dyeing applies to the face as well. So when instead of smearing on Shabbat, we have to try to find materials that don't smear. What is that? That means it's going to have to be like a loose powder. It can't be something that has oil in it. It can't be something that's going to smear on your face or on your body. So there's actually makeup out there that's just powder. And you can actually use it on Shabbat. I'm going to teach you how to use that on Shabbat. And it's very, very simple, and it's actually really, really good. Okay. So mimareach, to smear, again, means that there has to be something that doesn't have any oils. So a lot of the makeup, I don't have it right here with me, has on the back of it the ingredients of what's inside it. You just have to make sure that there's no oils in it. And a lot of times it says oil free, and then you look on the back and it actually has oil in it. But besides for that, it should be like very powdery, to the point where you put it on your face, and if someone would blow very hard, or you would have a fan on your face, it would come off, right? You ever have sometimes your makeup, your blush or your bronzer, sort of cracks up, and then you put it on your face and it's all over your shirt? Ever feel that? It's like, there's powder everywhere. That's the kind of powder that you can use on Shabbat. The thing is that your face has to be completely smooth, and it has to be completely clean in order to apply it. Because one of the things that you can't do is that you can't mix different colors together. So you can't take one color of eyeshadow and put another color of eyeshadow and mix it together, because it comes out to a nice little, a nice color. So you can't mix the color. So what do you have to do? You have to have something special and something new. You have to have a special bag that says Shabbat bag, Shabbat makeup, which is so exciting, because we love getting new things, and especially makeup. I love getting makeup. So excited to get makeup. 1 second, I'm sorry. Can you go ahead, please? And close the door. So, okay, a lot of people are texting me and trying to get on, Nelly, Nikki Rosen, Nikki Cohen. Okay, so what do you have to do? You have to make sure
Good.
You have to make sure that your face is completely clean. That means when you put on makeup on Shabbat, it has to be completely clean. That means you could have your eye makeup from the night before, which Agnes is going to teach us how to put on eye makeup the night before and actually make it last. And you could put your lipstick on the night before. You could put on 24-hour lipstick. But the powders on your face, if you want to apply it new, like a new blush, a new bronzer, a new foundation, you can. It just has to be completely clean. And you have to use a separate brush for every single color that you use. And you have to make sure that doesn't mix up together. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is that clear? Anybody have any questions? So if you're applying foundation on your face, make sure that you're applying the foundation in specific areas, that it's not going to be mixing the different colors together. So you're not going to have like your foundation and then your blush. You're just going to put your foundation in the spots that are very good for you to put your, you know the spots that you need to put it on. Okay, we all know our spots that we need. Okay, everybody notices the things that are on their own face. So again, the smearing is not allowed. You have to find a powder that's powdery, that can blow off easily. You can't color your face. You can't put blush with another color and mix it together. You have to do it when it's clean, no mixing, and just making sure that it's really separate. So when I put on my bronzer in certain areas, I make sure that the blush is not going to connect with it in the same place. Even though usually you like to blend, we're not blending in this. Does that make sense? We're all good? Thumbs up? Anybody have any specific questions? Okay, I just wanted to clarify. I spoke to Rav Lowy today, who's a big rabbi in the city, and we talked about this specific thing, makeup. And I wanted to just go through all the things that I put together here for all the laws that we're giving over. And he said it was all good. And he mentioned that if you're a beginner, if you're more on the beginner side, this is okay for you to do. If you're more advanced and it's more ideal for you not to apply makeup on Shabbat, to try to apply it before Shabbat. But the thing that you can apply on Shabbat is foundation, because it's your natural skin color. And according to Rav Moshe Feinstein, putting foundation on Shabbat is okay because you're not coloring anything. It's just it's just your skin color. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So if you feel like you really are feeling like, you know what, this Shabbat thing is really hard because I can't put on makeup on Shabbat. I'm not going out. I'm not showing everybody my wrinkles or anything else. It's okay. There's an option here. There's an opportunity for you to actually apply makeup on Shabbat. And it's not so hard. It's not so difficult. All you have to do is get a new little bag that says Shabbat Makeup. And we know some people that can, personalize it for you. Make sure no one touches it. And it's your special brushes. And now I'm going to leave the floor for our special Agnes. Well, actually, Nelly, I'd like you to introduce Agnes.
Yes, so hi everybody. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Agnes. First of all, she's like the funniest, sweetest person that I've ever met, besides Brady, of course. So Agnes graduated in 2006 from Complexions International. She has been a makeup artist ever since. She's worked in multiple places, including Sephora, MAC, many hair salons. She is telling me that she is really a skincare junkie. So she pretty much knows anything and everything there is to know about skincare. She has a long love affair with skincare and makeup, and started working actually in cosmetics at 17 years of age in the cosmetics department at Shoppers Drug Mart. And so by now, after 17 years, she has a strong understanding of applications and techniques, and she continues to evolve to this day and learn more and more so she can teach us, obviously. She currently works as a freelance makeup artist, primarily working on bridal parties, and she also teaches, as she will today. And finally, very exciting news, she launched what's called the Beauty Edit Box, and she launched it in August, so it's very new, and which is a quarterly beauty subscription box filled with full and deluxe size skincare and makeup. And there will be one lucky lady today at the end of this presentation who will actually be able to win one of Agnes's beauty edit boxes. We will have a draw at the end of this presentation, and Agnes is showing us now how it.
Wait, Agnes, show it to us again.
I can't show you the stuff inside until the end, okay?
Exciting.
Let it be a mystery.
And we're going to have a draw, and one lucky lady is going to win a box, okay?
So exciting.
Exciting. Go ahead, Agnes. The floor is yours.
Wow, thank you so much. Can everybody first of all hear me? And is the screen okay? I can blow up more lights. First of all, thank you. I didn't realize how many lovely people are on here. Tatiana, I see your gorgeous smile. Yeah, hi. Okay, and I see Deborah. Okay, anyways. Okay, Rhonda, Paulina. Okay, we'll stop. Okay. Okay, so first of all, thank you, Frady. And I just wanted to clarify, when you said foundation is okay on Shabbos, did you mean, you're talking about like loose powder, right?
Loose powder foundation. Everything has to be loose powder because if it has oil in it, it's considered smearing.
Right. But even if it has a little bit of a color, like you said, it matches your skin tone, but it has zero oils, it's allowed.
Right.
Wow. I always thought it had to be translucent. Okay, so hi and welcome and get your makeup out. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so let's go through makeup for Shabbos. Like Frady said, ideally, it's best to just apply everything prior to Shabbos so that really you're not touching up. Me personally, I like to really focus heavy on the eyes. I don't personally like to sleep in a lot of face makeup because I like the skin to breathe at night, but it's all a personal choice. And my goal for today is to teach you how to allow your makeup to stay on for the next, 24 hours or so. Okay, and the key is layering. Thin layers. So what I'm going to do is start with the brows, the eyes, work my way down to the face, and then talk about lips last. Frady, you will tell me when you need me to stop. I might go over in time. I'll try to cover as much as I can and make it fun. And if anybody has questions, Frady, do I just wait until the end or do we just...
Let's play it by ear and see how it's going and then...
Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just pin my hair back a little bit. So excuse me. Okay, there we go. So welcome and welcome. Assuming that you all already know or have a skincare routine, I'm assuming, I don't know. If you don't, get on one. And we could talk about skincare later, but ladies, please, I just want you to know, makeup is really the second part. If you don't take care of your skin, there's not... the makeup is what adheres to the skin. So you should always have a strong skincare routine, your cleanser, your moisturizer, at the very least, and maybe an exfoliant in between and an eye cream. Okay, and a lip balm. Okay, so once you've done your skincare routine, meaning you've applied your moisturizer prior to your makeup application, I start with the brows and the eyes. Now, I'll be throwing a lot of different probably brands here, so don't pay so much attention, to the brands as much as the technique itself, okay? So let's talk about eyes and brows. If you don't have a lot of brow, leave it and then start with the eyes. If your brow is really pretty much filled in, like I kind of just cheated and did my brows here so I could focus more on the eyes. Now, I don't know about you. For me, I like to have nice, strong brows. I tend to fill them in with an eye pencil, like a brow pencil. Just quickly tell you about this here so you can see it better. Something that's like a nice fine tip point, and I literally will like fill them in to the brow shape that I like. A little golden rule I should say is knowing where to start, where to curve, and where to end, right? If you're looking straight in the mirror, that's where my brow should end. Okay, because some of my clients, they don't have so much brow, and sometimes I'm having to create their brow for them. So that's called the little golden rule. I'm purposely using a darker brown pencil so it's more obvious for the application, so you ladies at home can see through this what's going on. So yeah, so that's where it should end. So 1 from the tip of your nose, 2 and 3. So let's say you've applied your brow pencil like I did, you go back in, this is again for longevity. If you're happy with your brow pencil, with your brows just as is, you know, and you find that, you know, they last all of Shabbos, great, you know. And I stress brows because sometimes even when your eye is done, the brow is what really gives your eye structure. It really sort of lifts and opens up this whole area. It really does. I would almost say like give it parameters to the face, right? So I do believe don't skip the brows. Definitely do them. I'll just show you what I do in terms of powdering them. I will get my product right here. There's many different companies that produce brow powders. I'm using one that I've had for many years. If you want brands, you can message me privately after. I will talk about brands, although I am not brand loyal to any one company. And what you want to do is use an angled brush, or if you don't have one, because I don't see one right now, I'm going to use, oh yeah, I do. I have a nice little angled brush like this. I don't know, oh, where's my camera? There you go. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. And I just dip it in to the color that I think, and I just literally like fill it in, right? Okay, so fine. I'll kind of quickly do this brow, and then I'll just kind of move on to the eye. I just wanted to show you that in terms of like for the full effect, that really I use a brow pencil and then I use a powder to really seal the color. Because what I mentioned in the beginning is that you really should be layering. And the reason you layer is because powder adheres really well to cream products. So just like your foundation, we set it with a loose powder. You should be doing that for eyes and your face and your eyeliner. Anyways, so let's get into that. Okay, we're good so far, thumbs up. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's talk about eyes. So eye primer, you have to have one. What is an eye primer? It's something that you put on before you put on your foundation. So, before you put on your eyeshadow. So there's several eye primers that I personally use, but there's about two that I always go back to. And one of them is the following. Okay. There's one that I always come back to, and it's probably one of my favorites. If you've had makeup done by me, I've probably used this on you. Soft Ochre. It's a paint pot from MAC, and it looks like this. It looks like a color. Here, I'm going to try to bring it closer. And what it is it's, you literally paint your whole eye with it. So I'm going to do it with you right now. And I'm going to use the back of my hand as my palette because I do not double dip back into the product, only because it's not my product, it's from my makeup kit. So you take a brush like this, like a domed, I would say like synthetic brush. I know, Frady, that was one of the things we talked about. I'm going to definitely emphasize which brushes. You work with brushes according to the area that you're working. So the smaller the area, the smaller the brush should be. And also the more opaque the application, the more dense the brush should be, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. So here I am. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so fine. So what ideally, I always say this at home, is that you wanna lean back. When you're working at home, lean back into your mirror so you see like a really flat lid. Why? Because you really get to apply it smoothly versus I see a lot of women doing this, right? Don't do that because you're getting a really uneven application and then you're having to work harder to like smooth it out. So really, if I was staring in my own mirror, I would be doing it like this, literally from the center and working my way out pretty much towards the brow bone because I'm pretty much putting this all over. Why? Because this is my primer and I'm using this as my base to the eyeshadow. Okay. So how thick or how thin? I like to keep everything nice and thin, but even, like even layers, like so. So not much of a difference, but at least it's there. I'll quickly try to do the other eye as I'm talking to you. And
Agnes, while you're applying it, Natalia's asking, what's the benefit of doing the eyes before the face?
Oh, great question. Who? Talia's asking?
Natalia, yeah.
Oh, Natalia, thank you. Okay, so good question. So if you're gonna do a heavy eye or you tend to be a little bit more messy, I mean, I'm gonna go maybe, I don't know. I tend to start with the eyes first because if I have fallout in terms of like a shadow, I wanna be able to clean it up before I go on to foundation. Therefore, the shadow doesn't become like gray or green or blue as like, you know, as those little like little particles become stuck on my skin. So it's a cleaner application. And truth is, it's a personal preference also. So if you're used to applying it that way, you can. Unless I'm doing a really basic eye, I would apply my eyeshadow first. If that makes sense.
You.
Truth be told, I could have done my foundation first, but I wanted to emphasize how to make things last in terms of eyes and whatnot. So I started out with the eyes first. But yeah, that's that. I do tend to do eyes first. Like I said, it's just a personal preference. You will see a lot of makeup artists tend to do eyes first. Okay, fine, off we go. You can use your ring finger to just kind of dab it in place. And I have a little mirror here. Again, always lean back to make sure it's even from top to bottom. And now you're gonna actually go on to your shadows. So remember, step one is prime. Well, step one before, if you're doing brows, that's step one. Then you are doing your primer just on your eye. And you should know, cover this whole area. People don't realize this is also part of your eye. It's like this deep crevice, and go all the way here. Because when you're blending out that shadow, you want that smooth diffusion happening right there. So don't skip out these areas. They're huge.
Okay,
Like,
so Agnes, while you're doing that, keep going.
yeah.
I just want to clarify, because she was asking me a really good question.
Yes.
Is this primer oil free? And it's not. If this is not oil free. And Agnes is showing us how to apply eye makeup before Shabbat, so that it actually lasts for 24 hours, 25 hours, so that it doesn't come off. So we're not learning right now how to apply it on Shabbat. We're actually learning how to apply it before Shabbat, so that it lasts for a while, right? You're having a big party, whatever it is that you need for last for forever. This is how you're gonna do it. So this primer is not oil free.
It's a great, no, and yeah, I would. Yeah, great. Okay, so now we're going back onto eyeshadow. So eyeshadow, you've got options. You've got, again, I don't know everybody's
Agnes,
skill level. What's that? Skill level in terms of like.
There's a question regarding the primer from Paulina.
Oh.
She's just asking, does the MAC primer have a gold shimmer in it, and how long does that little pod last you?
This is totally no shimmer. Sorry, I'll try to get really close. Hope I don't scare anybody. And then it lasts until you finish it. I mean, if you have it for a year, it's great. As long as you keep the lid really tight, you want to keep it away from getting dried out. A lot of cream products need to be kept tight so they don't dry out, and because things expire and go bad. So, I mean, I go through it at least every 9 months. Well, now during COVID, it lasts longer because I'm not working so much. So, yeah, and it's a great product. Some people will wear this as an eyeshadow and they're great and they're happy and they'll just do their mascara and off they go. I'm teaching you how to get that whole effect. And you'll be glad that you know, because I've had people like, oh my gosh, I never knew about this whole primer thing. It's a game changer, and it really is. So listen up. So you've done your primer. Now let's talk about shadow. So what I would do after the primer, again, to make things last, I take a small amount of a loose powder, like any loose powder you have. Translucent powder works. This powder that I'm using is actually in the beauty edit box. Whoever is the winner will try it out. And it's awesome, and it's like mineral based. And I'm just tapping it off because you don't want too much on your brush. And you're just gonna kind of like dab it on there. Why? Some people get really oily, some people don't. But the moment you're taking that powder and you're kind of dabbing it into place, now that primer is ready for shadow. And the application won't go on blotchy, and it will just kind of help to prolong your shadow. That's what it's all about. So kind of all over. Okay, so you've done your primer, you've done your loose powder, you can go in circles, find what works for you, like in terms of, because some people have a smaller area. So fine, you might need a smaller brush. I happen to use this one of my favorites, 217 from MAC. I have about 8 of these. I've had them for forever and they're amazing. And I'm just dabbing it on, not too much. I probably overdid it. I can't even see, but now my eyes are ready for the actual application. Okay, so you do your choice of shadows. I don't know, ladies, if you all wear eyeshadow or not, whatever palette. I'm going to use this one. I just happen to love it. It's all neutral, whatever you can get at Sephora. And I'm using these colors so that they're visible enough that you can see where the eyeshadows go. A lot of us don't know, well, how do I do it like this and how do I do it like that? First thing you should do is first, like, look at your eye. And when you open your eye, where do you have your crease? How much space do you have up here? How much space do you have on your lid when you open your eyes? Everyone's eyes are different. Mine happen to be very deep set, and you happen to see this part much more. And that affects how I do my own makeup. And maybe that's a whole different class about like finding the way to do your makeup, well, your eyes that enhances your eye shape. Okay, but I find that my eye is more common than not. A lot of people have more space up here, or it's like, you know, kind of like hooded like what I have, and then they don't have as much space here. So what I like to do to keep it very like flattering is I like to keep this eye, like this part open, because open like light colors, colors with glitter or shimmer tend to advance your eye, tend to bring forward. Dark matte colors tend to push back. So I do want to push back this part so my eye looks more balanced. So I'm going to show you how to do a balanced eye, but also a really pretty eye. And it's visually very flattering on most people. So you start with something like, and it won't take like, you know, I won't get into like the 20 colors. I'll keep it basic to like 3 colors for AD, yeah? Like, and you could, you know, so that people are like, okay, that's doable. So I'm going to use something like, I don't know how these colors are reading on your screen. This is like a very, almost like an ashy bone color. It's a crease color. This palette is really great, by the way, because it tells you crease, transition color, inner corner, outer lid, center lid. It's a great color. It's, you know, but you can make these, you know, you can make your own palette. So I'm taking that color. You know, I shake off the excess because you don't want it to go too heavy. And I'm going to start with the eye that is more challenging for me. If you're right-handed, I'm not sure if doing your left eye is harder for you or your right eye. I would say maybe your left. So I'm going to work with this left eye, and I'm going to maybe lift it a little bit. And then I'm literally just going to start going in the crease. Okay. And don't be afraid, you know, as long as, and I'm using that same brush, by the way, that I was using to apply the loose powder because it barely had any product. And I'm going to dab some more and just go in the crease. What is this crease color? It's the color that's really going to marry, like blend your dark color and your light colors. When I see makeup, I don't like to see harsh lines. I really like it when it's just like really diffused. It's a personal preference. I think it's very pretty. So yeah, and what you just did, you just gave that eye like a little bit of more dimension. I always say these contour colors, forgive me, I don't know who's here, I hope I'm appropriate. It's kind of like the bra, like the underwear for you. It gives you that support. So your contour colors are like they're like the support your eye needs in between other colors to really make the eye come together. Like it gives the eye shape. And you may not see it right away until you put the other colors on. And that's a common, you know, that's normal, but just trust the process. Okay, so I just did my crease color. I kind of quickly did the second eye. You're probably like, okay, I don't even see it. And by the way, this look, you could do this transition color and go into blues. If you're a blue shadow wearing person, you could go green, plum, anything you want. I'm showing you how to do this look, and you could switch up the colors I'm about to show you. Okay, so this part, no matter what, how bright you're going, always have your crease colors like neutral, because it'll really bring the look together. Okay, I'm just blending it further. And I'm actually taking it out a little bit here because remember I said I have a little bit of space here that's extra. Well, not extra, it's just how my eye is shaped. And so there, it kind of pushes it back. The next color I'm gonna take is going to be a medium to dark color. So that was like a medium color transition color. I'm gonna take a dark color. I might even take this color smoke or even lash line and just maybe blend the two together. I'm gonna use a different brush. Why? Because the area I'm going to be applying it is going to be on the outer corner, and I really want to make it impactful. So remember how I said that you take a brush according to your size, wherever you're working. I loaded up my brush. And I'm just gonna start kind of, so on the outer edge of that eye, naturally where your eye would kind of go right here. I don't know if you could see that. I'm sort of marking my territory. That's gonna be the outer parameters of that shadow. I don't know if you ladies can see. And don't worry, I'm just kind of like dabbing it, throwing it on there. There, same thing. If you missed it, I'm gonna do it again on this side, right there. I'm going to go right there. I don't know if you just saw that. It's pretty much just like as if it's like elongating it from here. I'm using the bottom line, the bottom lash line as my guide, and I'm sort of going here. And no, this will not be like those theatrical eyes. I'm just placing the color there. Okay, that's your second color. I happen to love doing colors on an angle. I find it flattering. I find it really lifting towards the eye. But just for today's, presentation, I'm just gonna show you, I'm like literally taking it and dabbing it. And guess what? That's why it's also good to have a few brushes because you'll need them. You can't do this eye with one brush. Okay, so I'm gently, gently blending it. I'm looking in my big mirror to make sure that they're even, and they're not. This is why you have that other brush. I just used it for that crease. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clean my edges. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. And it diffuses. It takes away that harshness. I don't know if you ladies just saw that, but I saw it right there. And if you need to use your fingers to get the effect, do that as well. So already I'm starting to see this come together. Questions? No? I can't. I'm not, sorry, I'm not even looking at the people on the screen. I'm just making sure that I could see myself and that you guys can see this. So stop me if needed. Okay.
Really well, Agnes. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions while Agnes is blending it all in? Anyone have any questions?
What about those eye primers that they're like a little tube and it's like a cream?
Yes.
That's a different type of primer or what?
No, you're talking about Urban Decay. Yeah? Or,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Suburban Wellness. No, it's like, it looks like a little, I don't think it's like Smashbox. It's like a little.
Yeah, it works. I mean, it's not my favorite. I don't know. I feel like this is tried and tested and like true. Like if you're going to be crying or whatever, this has your back. Like this is like budge proof. Like the primer that I use, it's also technique. I mean, if it works, great. I don't know. I just don't, I don't know.
I don't know. I was just wondering what the difference, why a person would use one of the other.
Formula. Maybe that one's more liquidy. You know what I mean?
It's like a very, it feels like kind of like a runny, sticky cream.
Yeah. I'm sure it's good. I know Smashbox makes a lot of them. So I'm not discounting them by any means. Maybe they're great. I just don't use them in my kit. I use a few, like I'll show you. I have another one that I love from a different brand. They're like also like little tubes and they already come with color. They're a little bit more creamy and like they get really tacky and I still have to go back and set it with a powder because otherwise it just won't work. Like it won't stay. But use it if you have it. You guys should also know you should be keeping track of your products. If something starts to smell funny or something starts to the consistency changes, it's time to chuck it. It's time to throw it out. Makeup is not meant to last forever and you're better off buying a new product and not putting it on your skin rather than, using it on yourself. Okay, so back to this. Okay, I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit. And Natalia, you see, you asked like, why do I do, like, I don't know if you guys can see, but I already see, like, you'll see, I'm gonna clean this up and you're gonna see how much gunk already fell. And that's with me tapping out my brush. Okay, so now for the fun part, before I do eyeliner, I like to do a really pretty shimmery eye on the center. I don't know, some of you maybe love glitter, whatever your thing is. I'm teaching you like the basics of how to do your eye in a flattering way. According to my shape, but you should know, I should mention, that's why I said you should know where your crease is. You don't want to go too much higher than your crease. From your crease upwards, you should really be blending it out. Otherwise, it feels like too much, it's too theatrical, it's not so flattering. Again, I mean, in my humble opinion, right?
Agnes,
yes.
There's a question. What brand is the eye palette you're using?
Natasha Denona. Yes. Love her. Super amazing. Made in Italy. Things that come from Italy, I find are just really better quality. It's the way that they're like milled. It's like micro fine. It's like buttery if you touch it. So Natasha Denona, I have a lot. Anyways, I can go on. She's probably one of my faves and one of the best. They can get them at Sephora, online and in Sephora stores. So let me just show you. I'm gonna use my finger because this is my palette. And I'm gonna go with a really bright color, and I'm just gonna kind of like dab it on for effect. So you could see, again, we're doing our makeup for Shabbos, let's say. We're going to keep it in the center, kind of coming it closer to the lid and into the crease, okay? Hard to see. Some people like even a bigger pop. I mean, I'm gonna keep it to this level because that'll be an advanced class. But but this can pop even more. You can have it brighter, whatever it is. Yeah, so I'm keeping it to the lid. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe I'll take a different light at the very end so you guys can see better. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side. So you could have used the brush that I just did before, but I'm using my finger for a more opaque, more dramatic effect, you could say. And I'm keeping it to my lid and pretty much in like transitioning it into that darker color. Okay, okay, getting there. And now you can also do something else. And what I'm gonna do with the liner. I recently discovered, I'm gonna show you as many colors as I could, these guys. What are they? They are smoky shadow sticks. Guys, these, I kid you not, are so amazing. Okay, I wish I got paid for this, but they're essentially eyeshadows that work as eyeliners. And what's amazing is they have so many colors. The brand is Makeup Forever. And they're so awesome if you're like a busy mom or a busy person on the go. Throw one in your bag and just like apply it in the, you know, like these are so amazing. And it even comes with like a little pencil sharpener so you can sharpen it so it's always sharp. Like, so it's got the whatever sharpness you want rather. What's amazing about these is it says it's waterproof, but I'll tell you, I wake up Shabbos morning and it's still on my eye. I was like, okay, this is special because my eyes are shaped very, like they're very puffy. Whatever I put on, more than half of it is usually gone because I don't always take the time to do what I'm showing you right now, to be honest, right? We rush into Shabbos, I'm like, oh, quickly. But if I did, and I did this, it would last way longer. So I was talking about these pencils. I'm gonna take,
Sorry, it's gonna last.
Yes,
Also, even if you have like an oily, more of an oily skin, you're still
yes,
doing this and it's still gonna last.
the shadows,
Yeah.
100%, 110%. If you're doing, yeah, if you're putting on your primer, you're putting on that loose powder, then shadow, yes. Look, okay, so oily skin is tricky. Things sometimes don't, the skin absorbs more of the product faster sometimes. Perhaps for some people, not as much, but I find that oily skin generally, the makeup saturates faster than like somebody with normal to dry skin. Like my oily skin brides sometimes, like I find that I have to reapply their makeup more often throughout the day if I'm on location with them because it's just, there's something about their skin. It's internals, hormones, it's a lot of things that
So if somebody has more of an oily skin, they should apply more layers. Is that what you're saying?
not necessarily more in layers, but they might have to go a little bit more intense. Like go a little bit more, you know, with those shadows, a little bit stronger because it dies down, like it fades faster.
And this way it'll last the whole entire Shabbat.
I hope, ideally, yes. Especially, yeah, especially if you're gonna do like, I'm not done with the eye, so let's finish it off. Yeah. And then, yeah, but it's, yeah. I mean, look, there's no, I always say with makeup, like there's like, it's not black and white. I can't guarantee it because everybody's skin is different. But if you're gonna be careful and you're gonna sleep on your back, facing up like a queen, you know, you're not sleeping on your face like myself, it's definitely bound to last, 100%. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't see the color that I really wanted to use. This also comes in a black pencil. You know what, fun, I'll use this brown one. Okay, I'll use a brown liner here. I'm just looking for my alcohol. 1 second, I don't see you. Oh, it's upstairs. Okay, great. I'm gonna use my sanitizer here. Okay, so I'm just gonna disinfect it for myself and then I'm gonna apply it straight on my eye. That's what I love about these pencils. You can almost like sharpen it like this as well. This is a great flattering color. I don't even know. Number 6, Earth. I really, before this presentation started, I could have shown you how to do a smoky eye with just this pencil alone and mascara, and it's great. It's a big like time saver. It's so, so good. And you know, Like I said, they last really well. Mind you, you could also use this as an eyeshadow base too. So it's like functional, you could say, multi-use. Okay, so I kind of sharpened it. I don't know if you see it's a little bit sharper there. And I'm gonna do it like I'm doing an eyeliner. I'm gonna use a soft brown liner instead of a black. Personal preference. I do have a black one, I just haven't reached it. Ladies, preference, black or brown, no preference, you just wanna see it for effect, right? Okay, so let's do brown. Again, I'm starting on the outer corner, and I really, when you do your eyeliner, when I teach in person, I always say you have to lean back. Your chin should be all the way up so that you're looking down into the mirror, because you'd be looking down and you're getting a flatter eye. And in terms of where do you lift? Where do you, follow that bottom line and kind of lift it right there at the top, if that makes sense. And from there, I start to curve in. My rule for liner is thick to thin, from outside in. Okay, so let's go. There we go. Okay. And pretty much all the way in. And voila. Okay. That already, look at the difference, okay? Okay, I'm gonna speed it up. I don't know, it's 9:16. I don't know who's sleeping, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up and I'm gonna do the bottom as well, because why not? I don't know if some of you love to line the bottom. Lately, I've been seeing people like, I don't know, I feel like more and more, I guess because we're wearing masks all the time, people are like, okay, nobody's seeing my face, they only see my eyes. So I'm like, okay, where else can I, amp it up? So I feel like more is more. So I'm gonna do the bottom as well. I'm not going on the inside of my eye. I'm just going on the outside and bringing it, this way. Now, be careful not to make it too thick. It will really make you look like you have like a really smudgy eye, unless that's the effect you're going for. But yeah, and then I will curl my lashes. So I'm gonna do the same thing quickly to the other side. And then I will check that my wings or whatever is equal on both sides. You always want to check that both eyes are symmetrical, right? And if you make a little mistake, you can always take a Q-tip, clean it up, and I'll show you in a minute. Because remember, I told you I do eyes first because I have fallout. I'm going to clean it up. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm like looking at the big mirror. Anyways, okay. I use this rich brown color. I also find brown is just so much softer. And it's still so, it's so pretty, and it's not as harsh, not as intense, especially when you wake up on Shabbos day and it's like just black liner. I don't know. I feel like brown is a lot softer, and just, especially if you have brown eyes, green, hazel, whichever. Okay, so, how does that look? I can't tell just yet. I did not connect them. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna start to curl my eyes. In fact, before I do that, I'm gonna show you something really amazing. I always do this in my application. I take one of these and I take if I could find it, of course, a little, it's called micellar water. Where did you go? It was here. Okay, fine. Usually I take micellar water. In my case, I think it got moved. Perhaps. Oh, it's upstairs. Okay, I'm gonna take a little eye makeup remover and just remove everything underneath my eyes to show you.
One second.
I'm so sorry, was I muted?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Okay.
Okay, I was just saying that the reason, this is why, Natalia, you were asking earlier, is she on here? Yeah, that, why, I do eyes first is for this reason, because I still have, I had a little bit of makeup on earlier, but I do it so that I can get a really smooth, clean application, okay? And I'm gonna do, at this point, I would do mascara, okay? What mascara you use is your personal preference. Some people ask me, will wearing waterproof mascara last longer? I just find waterproof is not as volumizing. And sometimes for me, it flakes a lot. Like, I don't know about you guys, especially like L'Oreal, Voluminous, it just flakes. So I tend to use a non-waterproof. I just brought it down. I'm so sorry. Where are you? Okay, fine. I'll show you in a minute. Oh, it's right here. Anyways, I use a non-waterproof, and your next best friend before mascara is an eyelash curler. I know they look really scary, but they're so great. You just hold it against your eyelid and you just squeeze them. And I did have mascara from earlier in the day. And look at that. I don't know if you guys see, but it really like grabs every lash if you do it properly. And it really just like lifts the whole eye. Okay. I did not do liquid liner right now. I did not do cream liner. I use that pencil as my liner. If I really wanted to be extra, I might go on top of this powder with on top of this cream stick with another powder. That makes it like even more waterproof. But I think even this alone would last for 24 hours. I know it does. But if you guys have oily lids, this is where somebody would probably put like more shadow on top of this. And if you're one of those people, how do you do it? You take one of these brushes and just dip it into black powder and just kind of go on top of it, if that makes sense, okay? I'm happy here. I curled my lashes. I'm gonna quickly pop on some mascara because I've got places to go. And okay, just to show you for effect, okay? Usually you want to take your time with mascara. The biggest thing for me is to curl. Frida, I was going to ask you, can you curl on Shabbos? Do you know? Because you're not.
A really good question. You can curl on Shabbos if your eyelashes don't fall out. But if you're the type of person that your eyelashes start falling out, you're not going to pull out your hair on Shabbat.
Right.
So you can curl it if you know that your eyelashes don't fall out, or you do it very softly so that it doesn't fall out.
Oh, interesting.
But it's better to do it before Shabbat.
Of course. But yeah. Interesting. Okay, so I'll do the other eye, and we are gonna move on to the face. Yeah, Frady, face, and then
Yes. And while you're putting on your mascara, I just wanna I answered in the messages, but Alona asked a very good question. Are you allowed to remove your makeup if it's been smudged or anything? Yes, you can remove your makeup. Just make sure that the material that you're using to remove it is oil free, so that you're not smearing anything. And it's very liquidy. It should be liquidy, like a liquid soap or a liquid. You can't use like a bar of soap on Shabbat because that's considered smearing. So it has to be liquidy, or you can use a makeup wipe that's not too. You're not going to be squeezing too much out. It can't be too liquidy that you're going to be squeezing the paper because you're not a squeeze either. So for sure, you can take it off. And also, if you're going to apply new makeup on Shabbat that's powdery and oil free, like we said before, that's okay as long as you take off all your makeup and it's completely a clean palette, right? Because otherwise you're going to have leftovers from the night before, and then you're going to put new makeup on. You could be mixing new colors, and you're not allowed to mix colors. It has to be completely clean. So yes, you can remove it as long as it's the right material that you're using.
Okay, wow. Okay. I'm just putting on a little bit of eye cream because I did remove whatever I had going. I probably have leftover makeup from earlier in the day. Assuming that your skin is clean at this point, you would put on your foundation. So this gets really fun. Your foundation, you choose based on how much coverage you want. What kind of a finish do you want? Do you want it more normal? Do you want it like more, if your skin's more dry, you might want a more hydrating foundation. If your skin is more oily, you probably want a more like matte or like skin-like satin finish. So foundation, I would say choose a foundation of your choice. If you currently don't wear foundation, but you're thinking about starting it, a really great one, Nelly knows, truly one of my faves and my go-to is CC Cream. I love this. It's got so much coverage and it's so hydrating. And they've come out with newer formulas that are oil-free and are mattifying.
I like the matte one. It's really nice.
It's so good. Honestly, I'm shocked at how many clients I do like, oh, so because I'll ask them during the application, what do you wear? And they'll say, actually, I wear CC cream. It makes your skin look like skin, but better. So I'm actually going to just use my fingers now. And the best part is it's got SPF 50. I know I'm not outside, but still, I was reading recently that even like these lights from computers and your phones do a lot of damage. Like they do photo aging damage. I was like, oh, how come I wasn't aware? We're talking about like age spots, brown spots, just discoloration, really dull skin. I mean, hi, when you get to your 30s, who doesn't have damage? I mean, whatever. We cover it better. Some cover it better than others, but this stuff is amazing. I just feel like you almost get like a facelift, you know? It just evens everything out. And I'm using my fingers. Yes, you can use a brush. You can use a beauty blender. You can use like one of these tight, like kabuki type brushes that's like synthetic. And it just, again, because it's mine and my own, you know, my face, I'm using it right now. And it's nice. It just kind of melts into your skin. Okay. And what I would do at this point, even before Shabbos, is I would go on. I'm happy with the coverage. I don't do crazy coverage, but if you need more coverage, you go back and you apply it, you know, on your mask knee, wherever you will need that coverage, you go for it. And then what I go into my concealer. So you put on your foundation, then you go on to your concealer, you blend it down into your neck. Concealer is also a personal preference. How much coverage do you need? Something that I really try to emphasize, especially lately, is if you have bags, you know, and you have this darkness, it's important to color correct it before you put on your actual concealer. So say you're somebody who has blue, purple coming through. What you do is you put on a color like corrector, like, let me grab one, like right here. Where did you go? Sorry, it's just here. You can't see it. Okay, fine. I don't see it. But okay, let me just show you okay, here we go. A color corrector, it's not the one that I really wanted to show you, but I'll use this one anyway, is something that looks like this. Well, different colors, but what it does is it neutralizes the darkness, going back to color theory. So if you're darker, I mean, I'm gonna exaggerate it today, but I'm gonna do it for effect. I'm gonna use orange and just like slightly in the thinnest layer, I'm gonna put like this orange stuff. Again, the older I get, the more pronounced it becomes, I find, and that's probably genetic, whatever it is, you know, who cares? Love ourselves as we are, right? And use makeup to feel better. My little mantra here. Okay, Agnes, no one cares. Okay, so I just kind of focused it right there. And I don't know if you guys can see, I try to blend it out a little bit. Really, if like this was like a full application, meaning like I was doing somebody's face, I would let it sit there, let it absorb. And then I would go back or wait and then go back and put on my concealer. I should mention, I've been seeing this lately. I have girls who come and they have blemishes, and like we're talking like those red, like almost ready to pop blemishes. So guess what? I use a different color corrector, but also going back to color theory, a really beautiful green corrector, and slightly like put it just on those areas and let it sit. And then I go back either and cover it with foundation again or with a little bit of a concealer. So don't discount color correcting. I don't always do it. It really depends on your face. But if you're somebody who has darkness or red blemishes every once in a while, it's a great little hack, trick, whatever technique that you can use for yourself to look more flawless. So now I kind of let it sit a little bit, right? And then I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm using Tarte. Happens to be one of my faves. They're actually they're exclusive to Ulta in the States. And you can get it online on tartecosmetics.com. Or if you have family in the States, you just tell them to bring it over. But I think if you order a certain amount, it's free or something with shipping. So notice where I'm putting it. So with concealer, application is key because this will give you that whole snatched, sorry for my language, but like it'll give you like that, you will look so lifted. So concealer is my best friend. So I'm putting it again with my fingers, but they're my fingers and they're clean. Right underneath that area, okay? Right there, and I kind of bring it a little bit over here. So I work it, ideally you wanna have this triangle, but if you don't wanna go heavy, so you just work it in the areas where you need it. Now, a complaint I get sometimes is, but now you see my wrinkles more, right? Say if you have more lines, yes, we all have them. That's why I'm trying to show you that you're applying it in thin layers. and I'm still getting the coverage, but it's not going on quote unquote cakey. Okay. A lot of the time when I do women, like the mother of the bride or who the groom or guest, you know, they're like, oh, but you know, now you really see my like. So again, sometimes you're not used to seeing yourself with makeup, and that's also a thing too. So yeah, have fun, play with it. But you have to sometimes also step back and see, oh, it really does look good. It's just when we're really close, we notice all those little things. And that's okay. It's called skin. Okay, I'm applying more. The more you apply a product, by the way, the stronger the effect. So meaning the more you apply it, the more coverage you're gonna get, especially with this concealer. And I'm into coverage underneath my eyes because that's really the area that's probably one of my biggest problem areas is underneath the eyes. That's the area that shows our age the most. Or first, I should say, when we start to age again. And I'm working it down the bridge of my nose and up here because I really want to lift it. I get darkness up here, so don't skip out on this area. And usually also I let it sit a little bit. I let it sit, let it kind of sit on my skin, mix in so it gets that flawless look in the end. I did not set it yet. Okay. Another little fun fact with concealer, guys, I promise we're almost there. Everybody's holding up okay? Cheers. Grab a, whatever, glass of wine, beer. Who drinks beer anymore? Anyways. And then I'm going to use the same concealer and I'll show you some really fun things because it's my face and I'm okay to show you my flaws. But if you have these things called nasolabial folds, okay, we all have it. Some are more pronounced than others. This, okay, applying this really directly on will really kind of brighten and flatten it. So, and then you kind of let it sit and don't go everywhere. Just really keep it tight. Keep it just in that area. I'm gonna actually let it sit and then I'm gonna blend it out. Another area, I don't know how you call it, the jaw, whatever it's called here. I find that in certain angles, like right there, I find that it almost starts to droop a little bit. Don't laugh, but really, really, I mean, so I sometimes will put concealer there and it'll sort of just like brighten and lift it. So any area that you guys kind of like want to, I mean, as long as it's not here, this is like a, really, you could see this crevice, right? And you could see that a little bit. Any area you really just want to kind of like, okay, fix, flatten, you go in there with your concealer, okay? A little trick, you don't have to do this, it's a little bit whatever, quote unquote, you know, extra, and then you just let it sit there and I'm gonna blend it out. Okay, now ladies, I don't know if you contour, highlight, if you love that stuff or not. I know Leora, Mrs. Mandel, Rebbitzin Mandel, sorry. I know she's into makeup and I know she'd probably appreciate it, but you guys probably see this often is people highlighting down the center of their nose. Sometimes we even do it up here. You don't have to go crazy. And the reason we do it because it really does help. It really does sort of make our nose appear thinner. There's like chachma to it, I find. So slowly, if I pull back, oh, I'm not enough my lights, but you can see it kind of puts things into perspective. Okay, now at this point, I'm ready to start setting it and I'm ready to start contouring or giving it more dimension. Fredy, does that sound okay? Yeah, sorry, yeah, Fredy, no?
Perfect.
Okay, okay.
You look like you're 20.
Yeah, oh, perfect. Will they card me at LCBO? No, I'm kidding. You know what, I find like when you get to your 30s, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm happy here. I just don't want to get older, but I'm happy here, you know? Okay.
No, you want to get older. It's good. It's a good thing.
No, okay, maybe, not yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that powder, that very first powder, that loose powder. I'm taking a fluffy brush. They come in all kinds of shapes. This one, it doesn't matter. Guys, I wanna just mention, please, 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 not because it's COVID, keep your brushes clean. Like, I show up at people's houses sometimes for lessons before COVID, and oh my gosh, the stuff that I see, and I'm not saying this to be dramatic, I'm sorry, but really you need to wash your brushes at least once a week. Really, really, otherwise you're applying last week's oils and last week's whatever you had on that brush onto your face again. Chances are you're gonna clog up some pores. Chances are it's not even going to be as smooth of an application. Just try to wash your brushes. I can tell you, message me, I can tell you, I could do a little video of how to wash them. Doesn't have to be complicated. Lay it flat to dry overnight. By morning, you've got a clean brush. Okay, at best, at worst case, like you can get like those one of cleansers. This is probably one of the best on the market, Cinema Secrets. I always keep this with me on jobs just in case I need to use the same brush on different people and I don't have more brushes. I will clean because that disinfects 99.9% and it kills all the bacteria. Okay, so I'm loading up my brush and I'm still gonna let that concealer settle in. Why? Because I know I'm gonna crease. Sometimes what I like to do is kind of like make expressions, laugh, ha ha ha, you know, and let the creases take place, take shape, so I can go back and clean them out. And then I'm ready to set it, because you do not want to set your makeup with the creases in there. You want to make sure it's all smooth and then go in, pat it down. This is that layer. Remember I was telling you everything goes in layers. And there's this concept, what you might see on social media, baking, like literally when you're baking, don't do it if you have really dry skin here. Don't. It's just going to absorb all that beautiful work you just did and make it really dry and powdery. It works nicely on young skin, like teenage skin. I don't even like to bake on myself, I find, because I'm dry here. You just want to set it and move on to other parts. If you use a lot of powder, I find that the next day is just like, bleh, you know, it's dry and it's not cute. So don't overdo it. Too much powder will dry up your skin and it will give you that cakey look. Okay, so everything in thin layers. So again, I'm gonna go with that powder. Just work it down. I tend to go warmer, a little bit warmer on my face than my neck. My neck is very light. Colors can be tricky. Your skin color might be different in the summer than it is in the winter if you go for walks or runs or whatever, if you work outside. And yeah, if you are somebody that's more normal to dry, you might find that you don't even want to powder everywhere. But given that we're doing it for Shabbos, I would say do it everywhere, because if you're one of those people who wants their whole face done, say you have a simcha on Shabbos morning, right? This is what you would do. You'd literally put it everywhere, of course, and off you go. Also, it'll allow your blush to blend better. It'll allow your bronzer, your contour, whatever you're going to put on to blend better. Okay. So let's go on to, what do you ladies wear? Do you wear bronzers? Do you wear powders? I'll just go ahead and I'll show you what I do. I've started to like bronzers as I get older. I just feel like they give you that nice warmth to your skin, instead of, you know, just the old school blush and whatnot. So, and it's really nice to look like you just got back, you know, from Miami and, you know, you spend a couple of nights at Bell Harbor. But anyways, I digress.
While you're doing bronzer, you could do it while I talk. You don't have to stop.
Yeah, why am I doing it?
No,
yeah.
I'm going to ask you while you're doing it.
Oh, yes.
So that some people, I've never done this before, but some people do like a tanning before Shabbat. So this way it lasts the whole Shabbat. They don't have to apply anything on Shabbat. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I actually have somebody in my family who does that and she looks great. I don't personally love it because you have to do a really even application. And sometimes I'm bothered by the smell of those self-tanners. I think it's great. I mean, there is something to it. You know, when you're on vacation, you naturally have that bronzy look. You just feel so good. You're like, I don't need so much makeup. I think it's great if you find a good self-tanner. You're saying doing that instead of all this makeup, you're saying, Brady.
Yeah, just as another option.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. It's good.
I've never done it before, but I know that some people do it for Shabbat specifically so that it lasts and they don't have to apply anything. They don't have to worry about powders, oils, whatever it is. Right. They put on a self-tanner and it lasts. I just wanted to hear what you thought. I have self-tanned, yeah, and I always come back and I'm always happy to do like a facial scrub and get it off, because I would rather I would rather control how dark I want to go. Sometimes you end up looking more orange or it looks blotchy. That's probably one of the biggest downsides is you have to really exfoliate your face, because some of those self-tanners will pick up on areas that are less oily and it'll go on more patchy. And once it's on, it's there the next day. You're like, I can't do anything about it. The only thing I could do is put makeup on to cover it. Right? So, but yeah, listen, I haven't maybe I should dive into that more and test them out more. But you see, I would just rather build the bronzer. By the way, I'm using Too Faced. I love this one. It smells like chocolate. I think it's called Chocolate Matte Soleil. It's like their original.
It's so good. It's so good. Look,
And
I've got,
something that you can do to your bronzer for Shabbat, if you want to use it on Shabbat, this is the part that you can use for Shabbat, on Shabbat, if your face is completely cleaned, is to take an oil-free powder. Is that oil-free,
I have
Agnes?
to look it up. I mean, it's made with 100% natural cocoa powder. I don't know the other
Okay, so
powders in it.
if you have one that's oil-free, you can give it to your 2-year-old and to throw it on the floor. Or you can take it and just
Uh-oh.
chop it up a little bit and make it into some sort of powder. They actually sell some powders that are actually like very fine and ready
I
to
have one. Yeah, yeah.
they don't make it into this like solid
I
piece.
have a loose powder and it's actually one of my faves, but I just don't use it as often. There's a brand called Bare Minerals, or it's a great line. I used to be at Sephora. I think they're still there. They make it, I think it's called faux tan. It's literally, it gives you that it's one of my favorites. I just don't use it in my kit because I find it can get messy.
Yeah, it can get messy, and that's why it's good for Shabbat, because that's the whole point. You're allowed to color it as long as it's not permanent. And if it's not permanent, that means it's going to sort of fly off a little bit. So it's not going to last for so long, but it's going to
Mhm.
last for the Shabbat day, right? And you
So
can
I
put it
can
on
add that color onto my face, you're saying?
as long as your face is clean and it's powdery. So you can take any of your powders that are completely powdery and no oil at all. You could just like sort of chop it up into like real powder. My kids have done it many times to mine by mistake, but every time it happens, I'm like, okay, great. Now I have a new Shabbat piece of makeup instead of getting angry about it.
Right.
So it's
Right.
it's definitely a good tool.
Actually, funny that you mentioned that. If your powders do break, you could just take rubbing alcohol, spray it on. You know that little trick?
Yeah.
And it comes back together. You like, rub it, get it wet enough, and it comes back together. But yes. But yeah, okay, so fine. So let's kind of, I'm gonna try to bring this whole look together now. So I'm basically, in terms of application, I went a little bit more for emphasis, but you know what? That's the beautiful thing about powders, is I feel like you have a lot of control. There's cream powder, cream bronzers, there's liquid bronzers even, but powder was great. You could even do it a little bit on your nose. You can contour with this. And
Uh-oh, I think we lost Agnes. You want to call her, Nelly? We're almost there. We're almost there. It's all good.
Just getting back on.
Okay, good. Hi, Agnes. We missed you. We can hear you. One second.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
so
good.
sorry. It totally, I guess because I wasn't touching my screen, so it kind of like just went blank on me. So sorry. Okay, so that was the bronzer. And so just kind of make it all come together. I'm gonna quickly throw on blush. You can use, you know what? This is a good time also to use your powder blush. Blush is also one of those things that I find fades quickly. Just for effect, I'm gonna use like a really sort of more intense color, like perhaps this one, and just apply it on the part like of the cheek that starts to curve. So when you smile, I'm like literally putting it on the edges where my bronzer kind of finishes it off. Okay, there we go. Ladies, if you're into highlights, of course I'm into highlight. I don't know about you, I can throw on some highlight. This is another product that's actually in the beauty edit box. Whoever wins will get this fabulous highlighter, and it's baked too, so it's nice. Things that are baked I find go on differently and kind of like more buttery. Okay, there you go. So highlight, blush, bronzer. I used a bronzer. You can also use a contour color. What's the difference? A bronzer is a lot warmer. A contour has more of like that ash tone. But and then I could just like use my finger a little bit just for, just on the edge there, not too much, only because I don't want to look like a shiny, oily person, especially if you're somebody who gets oily. Be strategic about where you place this product, because this mimics like that glow. If you know you get oily, don't apply it on those areas, or apply it above. The idea with the highlighter is that it draws attention upwards towards your eyes. So if you're somebody who has texture skin, scars, you know, blemishes, do not apply this on those areas. If you have some blemishes here, you just kind of try to be careful as you maneuver around it. Because guess what? All that work we just did, if you have blemishes, you're going to highlight that. It's going to show up even more because this is kind of drawing your eye up there. So just be careful. That's why, you know, you want to highlight what's good, you know? So and that's why, so if this is a problem area, say somebody has some sort of, I don't know, scar. So or apply it a little bit more up here, you know? Don't apply it so much on the cheek too. I find that it makes the cheek look funny. Funny is another word. It kind of like flattens the cheek if you do it. So that's why I literally just apply it on that edge here, and same here. So as you smile, it gives a whole cheek like curve dimension, if that makes sense. Okay. Sometimes, okay, fine, quickly, you can apply a little bit up here above your brow to give it like that, you know, that little something, something, you know, from Hollywood, you know. Anyways, okay. I'm so extra tonight. Okay, I'm trying to tame myself.
Looks
Okay.
stunning. Looks stunning.
Did you say funny?
Stunning. And you're
Oh,
funny.
you're so funny.
You're
Yeah.
gonna go somewhere now, seriously, looking like that.
Okay. Into my kitchen I go. No, okay, so lips.
Gorgeous.
Talk about lips. Because this is a big one, okay? It took me time to figure out what works, because my lips, nothing really stays, but I've actually found something that works like a gem, and I use this on my clients. And guys, it's affordable. Maybelline, okay? Maybelline. I've been shocked at how much Maybelline has. They're probably, to me, everybody thinks L'Oreal, but to me, Maybelline is like one of the forefront, like leading mass marketed brands. They're so innovative. Like their products like have come out, like, I mean, wow. I could talk about them all day. Their concealers are amazing. For a drugstore, they're probably one of the best concealers, the Fit Me concealers. They're very similar to the NARS. These guys are amazing. They even have like a lip. Anyways, these last forever on your lips. They are liquid matte. They're called Super Stay Matte Ink lippies. Okay, I have several colors that I use on people. So for today, if you just want to see something, I don't know, I tend to have the colors that people like to wear. So I wear like these, you know, I've got like these mauves, however you say it. I probably would do something more nudesy, more, you know, more blushy. And sometimes, by the way, they have a huge range. They have like a bright red. I don't know if I have it on me. The kids are, you get the point, right? You can mix colors. If you find that you love the formula, but you don't love their colors, mix it. I tend to mix these two a lot. Oops. So a little bit pink and a little bit nude. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Okay. But wait, I better do lip liner, because your lip liner is what's going to hold and shape your lip better. And I find that it really gives something for your makeup to grab onto for your lip product. Looks like
So I just want to clarify while Agnes is finding what she needs to find, that again, when you apply your eye makeup and your lip makeup, that happens before Shabbat, and it will last the whole entire Shabbat. This is what she's telling us here. Yes, and the other part of your face you can apply on Shabbat, as long as you're not mixing colors and blending everything, and as long as it's not with oil in it. Okay, it has to be powdered makeup that you could apply on Shabbat. But this lipstick happens before Shabbat, right? And it will last. And Agnes is teaching us how to put it on and apply it so that it lasts for the whole entire Shabbat. Right. Eating and all, challenge and everything.
Totally. Okay. I mean, be careful with your matzo ball soup there. No, but it's really good. You know, I always say, like, if you know you have an event Shabbos morning, you're making a kiddush. I always say, eat carefully Friday night. Like, open your mouth like a queen. You know, cut it up.
I mean, I have one of my nieces actually sleeps on Shabbat with her glasses so that she won't turn over on her eyes.
I've heard that.
Lasts perfectly, and she looks like a princess on Shabbat.
You see, I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't. It's just like I
drink coffee from a straw.
Okay, dentist. But it's awesome. No, it's if do that if you can. So, okay, lip liner trick. Okay, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury. I think it's called Pillow Talk. but it's a great, great color. Biggest mistake I see is people don't fully line their lips. Like they almost like, I always say like cheat a little bit. So right there, because this lip like cuts short, like you're going at upward strokes. I'm just telling you about a technique to help balance and make the lips look fuller. With time, I should say with age, the lip line starts to recede a little bit more, and you start to see it like starting to thin out over here because it kind of goes like more inwards. Okay, so a little trick is to like literally, I'm pouting them out right now, so I'm sorry what you're seeing on the screen, but you basically like building it up. You see how I'm just kind of doing these soft strokes? And what I'm doing is, yeah, I'm literally going on the edge, okay? And I promise you, it's not gonna be too much. I'm keeping it okay on the bottom. And what I like to do is if you really like this colors, you fill in your whole lip with this. I've had some people who just do this and it stays on for Shabbat, like just fill their whole lip with a lip liner. This one happens to be a really good one and it really does last and it's really budge proof. So I'm happy here and I'm gonna go on and put on my lip stuff. So because this is not mine, it's in my kit, I'm gonna take a disposable and I'm just gonna go for it. And in terms of application for the lip stuff, it doesn't really matter where you begin, just as long as it's nice and even. Now, okay. You're probably thinking, but what about these guys? Does anybody know about these? You know how you see them, Maybelline and, you know, Revlon makes a bunch. They're great too. I've used them. And I'm kind of like, they don't last as long for me as these personally. I find that these last longer. These claim to last for 24 hours and they work really well for a lot of people. Mind you, the colors aren't always so great and you feel that feeling. For those of you that are not familiar, you apply the color with this side and then you put on this nice hydrating like top coat after. I find that, I don't know, I happen to love these more. Okay, this is like a little bit Barbie pink for me, but okay, but you get the point, okay? Just wanted to show you for effect, really, more than anything. It's pink, you know? And also the same theory goes for lip colors. The brighter, the lighter the color, the bigger the illusion that, like, it gives this illusion that your lips are really bigger than they are because that's what it is. Light, bright colors enhance. Darker colors like browns and raspberry, whatever, they can sometimes make our lips look smaller. Yeah, so just also be careful the colors that you're choosing. I always say go somewhere in the middle, like a middle tone, not too light and not too dark. If it's too light, you might feel like it's washing you out. If it's too dark, it makes the lips look like thinner, more sharp, like rigid. I can't explain, like, you know, like, okay, I have it in my head, but like, you know, like those like your lips are like pursed almost. So I'm not a big fan of dark colors. We're talking like dark, deep burgundies, unless you're going for effect and you're doing like this whole fall look, you know? And I would leave it here. Look, you can still put another lipstick on top. Like and it will not disrupt what you have on as long as you give it a chance for about like 60 seconds to set and dry. I will do that. I will put on a lipstick. Sorry, I'm just looking for the one that I really wanted. One of my favorites by MAC. And I do this for Shabbat. I'll put on a lipstick on top of that. And so I know that even when this comes off, I still have the other color underneath. Okay. Now you feel like, Agnes, that's too much lip. Okay, fine. So you don't have to do that part. And then I step back. I go back and I adjust. I see if anything needs tweaking. I might go back with that eyeliner and a color and just go make it darker underneath. You know, go back, make sure there's no creasing happening. And then the very last step I use is this guy, or where were you? I just saw you. Okay, maybe it ran off. Morphe. Oh, here it is. Okay. This spray. Okay. These are awesome. What do? They really help to like seal your makeup.
What are they called, Agnes, again?
They're called setting mists. So they're basically, and they really do help. I mean, honestly, I feel like if you don't have this, kind of an old school trick, where you could take hairspray, as long as it's not too sticky. And some people like will literally like go They will just like hairspray their face, and it works. I just happen to love the stuff. It smells great, and it's like $24. The one that's been on the market for a long time and with good reason, and it's one of the best sellers, is Urban Decay. This one's called Ultra Matte. I have two kinds. I have one that's ultra matte for my oily skin girls. And what's nice is that when the skin starts to sweat, there's this technology that it doesn't allow it to disrupt the makeup so much, so it stays put. Yeah.
Okay, Agnes, thank you so much. This was so helpful. It was so amazing. And I'm going to give the floor to Nelly, because Nelly has written down all the names that were on here. And she's going to be doing a little bit of a draw for your beauty box, which is such an amazing idea. I don't know how you thought of it, but this beauty box is basically, just explain a little bit of what you can do for this beauty box.
So basically, yeah, you know, especially with COVID, people aren't shopping as much in stores. People don't find that it's safe. Like, I'm a big Sephora shopper, and you can't go into stores and test out products. You can't try them on yourself. It's hard to match things. So I was like, you know what? We need something else. We need something. And they have it in the States. I'm not reinventing the wheel. They have BoxyCharm in the States, Ipsy, but the problem is it takes forever to get here, and you're limited as to which boxes can come to you. So I was like, we need this in Canada. So hence the Beauty Edit box. You get some of the same brands that are sold at Sephora, at Shoppers. It's just a mix of skincare.
So if you subscribe, what happens? What do you get?
So you get it once every 3 months, basically, and
every
it
3 months at a box. You don't know what's in it.
Well, yes. By this point, everybody knows, because influencers, they're doing an unboxing, but there's an element of surprise because you don't know what's coming. The next box is launching December 1st, so it goes every 3 months. And if people want it early for Hanukkah, if people want it early for Hanukkah, we are sending it out earlier as well. Like, we're making sure, you know, I mean, I'm opening it up to everybody, of course, meaning like it's a great Xmas gift, you know.
How do you subscribe to this, Agnes?
What's that?
How do you subscribe to this?
So beautyeditbox.com. It's just the beautyeditbox.com. That's it. If not, follow us on Instagram. We sometimes do giveaways. We partner up with really awesome influencers and like lifestyle bloggers all across Canada to become, you know, as we grow our presence. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's the THE Beauty Edit Box. Frady. You have to put, okay. Anyway, so it's thebeautyeditbox.com, because that's what it is. It's, you know, it's a curated box with, you know, things that are true and tried and tested. And I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I think we could all use it. And I think it's fun. You know, there's a lot of lifestyle boxes, and I forgot to mention the most important thing of all about getting a subscription box is that you're getting so much more value. Like 3 products or 2 products in the fuller size box are already like worth the whole box, and you're getting 6 other products, and a lot of them are full size too. So you're getting a whole lot of stuff, right? Especially if you don't know, I don't know what I should get. This is a great idea for people that are new or love to play with makeup, like myself. You know, I could never have too much. Like, more is more.
I would love to get a new box of makeup every 3 months.
Yes. How about like every
month?
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna draw now.
Yeah. So
you're on. Show us the box, Agnes.
Sorry. I realized there's a whole chat. Okay. So there's 2 sizes. Oh my gosh, I don't want to like. They can DM me. So there's 2 sizes. There's one that's like $44.99 and one that's $74.99. And we're doing something where, anyways, I can tell you there's like a promo code. You can get 15% off and free shipping. It arrives at your door. It's really awesome. I mean, when you buy these things in the States, it comes out to more or less the same, but sometimes you're paying also duties and taxes. That was another big one for me. I was like, So yeah, we're partnering up with really amazing brands. Like, yeah,
awesome.
I don't want to take up like too much. I don't want to, but
that's awesome. So how do you know? What if,
I guess here, I'm going to put it.
When you subscribe, Agnes.
What's that?
Do you guys ask a question like about your coloring and everything so that you'll know which coloring to give?
So we're getting there. You're talking about customization. We're getting there. Right now, it's too soon because like it becomes really tricky. It means I have to redo whatever. It means I have to redesign the website and how it is
These
right
are
now.
things, products that's good for everyone.
Yes, like, I mean, yeah, but a lot of the times I ask my subscribers, like, if I don't know them personally, like what color they are. So if like there's things that vary, like in terms of blushes or highlight or bronzers, sometimes I have two of a product, and I decide I put the, the color that best suits them. So it
Great.
is in a sense customized. Yeah, but we're gonna get there to where it's customized and you get to choose what you want in your box.
That's awesome. Okay, let's do
It
the
just
draw.
really
I'm so
just
excited.
started, so.
This
Okay.
is so exciting, Agnes. Thank you so much. You were amazing.
you,
This was
guys.
so
Thank
helpful.
you.
This was so informative, and you look stunning. How is your lighting so good? Are you
Really?
special lighting?
Special lamp.
It's a vanity light. I mean, if you've been to my house, right?
Oh, okay, fine.
It's not even, I
That's
have
why.
2 other lights, but I figured this was more flattering because it's nice and
Beautiful.
warm. You know.
Okay, Nelly, go for it. We have to put some good music on.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Not looking. I'm gonna pull a name out. Ready? 1,
Wait, I'm gonna totally Instagram this, by the way. So forgive me if I'm on my phone, but yeah.
3. I'm gonna look down. Michelle. Is Michelle here? Yay, Michelle.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Yay, where's Michelle? Is she here?
I'm here. Thank you so much.
Oh, awesome. Wow. Congratulations. You're our next contestant. No. Okay.
That's
Make
amazing.
sure you're in touch
I'm so
with me,
excited,
and
Michelle.
I'll be able to deliver before Shabbos, God willing, tomorrow. Yeah, because you're in the area. Yeah.
Do you have any
That's
questions?
amazing.
Anyone?
And I want to thank Nelly so much for helping to organize this. And she and I really worked really well together and organized a Rosh Chodesh event, which means every month the women get a little bit of a break, and we get to get together and do something interesting and fun and informative. And this was so great, and we can't wait for the next one.